Okay, game 2 is here. Ben's not trying to reveal too many of his teams, so I've got the same one. And Jay has seen the light and he's got his nice Metagross Dugtrio combo. And Greninja. All three things should have been banned by now, but oh well. Let's have a look at the matchup. I guess Zapdos could be annoying for Ben, because it has moves with 10% hacks chances. If this is multis, I mean, Inner Focus, Banded Dragonite, that could be a little bit hot. I guess Dragonite could be a bit hot, regardless if it's set. Well, not regardless if it's set, but like regardless of whether it has a stupid set that would allow it to break through Fake Out here. Because like if it's random special Dragonite, Skarmory is getting plopped, and Toxapex doesn't really deal with it. Like Dragonite with the Z-Fly move is just too strong. We saw in the previous game that the Dugtrio was Tectonic Rage, and the Toxapex is Eject button. I'm fairly sure it's the Infestation Toxapex set in this team. So yeah, both just having a little sweat on turn 1. Again, Jay has no burn immunity. So like maybe that was what Ben noticed in his preparation, that he could just like spread Wisps with this thing and spam Scald with Toxapex and do well. And if you have no burn immunity, you're probably weak to Volcarona, which Jay is in this game, and he was last game, so... Like, Volcarona's broken, so... It's not broken, but it's just super hard to deal with, especially with the advent of Shattered Psych to just, like, break through Toxapex or whatever else might be in your way. But, like, Dragonite checks it unless it's HP Ice. Volcarona's just stupid. So Ben's just going to stay in there and burn this Banded D-Knight. So, showing little regard for his Sableye again, which kind of makes sense. Like, this team... this team that Jay's using sort of struggles to beat a full health Sableye, but Sableye... yeah, it's not, like, crucial to deal with any of Jay's Pokemon. Yep, so Ben's just getting some spikes up now that Zapdos is Defog, because that's stupid to use Dragonite without Defog. And he has 4 grounded Pokemon, so Spikes and T-Spikes would be super annoying as well. So he's going to go into Gren there, as Ben just Whirlwinds into Dugtrio, so the potential Sash is broken, which is kind of nice. Like, for Volcarona, that's actually really nice for Volcarona. So now if Ben gets up rocks for that Banded D-Knight... yeah, I think Volcarona can definitely win this game, so... Sableye there gets up his rocks. I don't really agree with going for rocks no, that's fine. Rocks is a fine play, because now you can just, like, Earthquake and then get rocks up on anything. So yeah, Ben will want to kill this Dugtrio. Like, he'll just go back to Skarmory here, I think. I think towards the end of that previous game, and the start of this one, Jay is showing, like, almost a bit of tilt. So he might just, like, Stealth Rock here, expecting Ben to switch out because he's tired of the games going the way they're going. So yeah, Tank comes in, and he does just Earthquake. So we'll see whether he wants to sack Dugtrio to get rocks up here for that Volcarona. It's good to see that he doesn't want to do that, because I don't think that was really a rational decision. So yeah, he can just go to his Zapdos here and defog at the cost of its leftovers, I guess, although Ben has been known to use knockoff-less Tangrowth. So he goes hard into his Dugtrio, threatening the Toxic, I guess. I don't think HP Ice would OHKO Dugtrio, so it's, yeah, relatively safe Toxic. I don't really see Jay going hard Metagross. In fact, switching Zapdos out is kind of risky, because Ben might just get up his rocks this turn, and then Zapdos is at 50% when it tries to come back in. But 50% is enough to come in on like 4 of Ben's Pokemon, so that's not all that risky. Oh, and the Dragonite's burnt, so yeah, Volcarona like just wins already. Unless it's Ash Greninja and it gets crits, which is sort of likely to be Ash. because of the hazard removal method he has, which is defog, so having spikes is kind of counterproductive with defog. Well, then having Rock's Doug Trio is also kind of weird with defog, because Doug... well, both teams have that, so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but Doug Trio can't, like, set Rocks up that many times. So this is sub-Rocks, Toxic, Tectonic Rage. That is quite a set. So yeah, Ben's kind of just, like, subbing to scout for double switches at this point, because the switch into Toxapex, or even Volcarona, is like, really obvious, and you'd think Jay would want to do something about it. So yeah, Volcarona comes in, and that might just be the end of the game. That did 19. So Outrage is going to do 2.4 times 19, I think, which is 38 plus 3.8, so about 42. So yeah, this can just set up on the Dragonite even if it's locked into Outrage. And the Doug Trio is probably not Scarf Rocks, so yeah, he's Quiver Dancing. And now Jay has to go for another crit to beat Quiver Dance Volcarona. Granted, it's with a multi-hit move, so it's much more likely. But he would probably need to get, like, quite a lot of hits too. But Ben decides not to risk it, and Jay just goes for a Spike. Who the hell does that? Oh my goodness. I guess he doesn't have... And he's Ash Greninja with spikes. And he just, like, didn't go for... That's wild. That is wild times. I guess in Jay's mind, he just, like, needs hazard damage on Volcarona, or he has no chance, but, like, not going for Shuriken there is whack. That's just crazy. So, Zap is the switch in, and Ben doubles to Doug Trio to Toxic. Yeah, threaten the Toxic again. So, yeah, he knows Jay wants to defog, I guess, which just makes that Spike make even less sense. Like, that was just crazy. I guess Sableye is within range of the spikes, but it looks like he wants to defog with his Zapdos. So yeah, that was actually a really nice double to Doggy there, because it's pretty much at the end of it. It's like, it can't do anything. I guess it can do something against Metagross, but he has probably Fizdef Scarm for Metagross, plus the Burn Body Volcarona. And there's the possibility of Bullet Punch Metagross, although that's fallen out of favour a bit since Pheromosa's ban. So he goes hard Metagross on the Toxic. That is a hot and spicy read again. this is the true final form of JayStaice now, spiking on +1 Volcarona and just going hard Metagross on Dogtrio. I'm looking for a Pursuit this turn. Looking to see Pursuit. Don't disappoint me, Jay, come on. Ben might just stay in. No. That's very disappointing. Can we at least see Thunder Punch? Oh my god. I'm sad about that. After these fire plays, we can't see a simple Pursuit on the Dog Trio. So we'll see here whether Ben wants to, like, double again to pressure the obvious Zapdos. I guess Whirlwind would always make more sense, although he might be in range of his leftovers on Skarmory, which is kind of unusual. He's going to go for a sneaky freeze, and Ben gets Doug Trio, which is Christmas for him, basically. He has an opportunity to get rocks up here, as Ben goes for spikes. So now I guess Ben can just, like, spam Whirlwind for a little while. Like, this Skarmory is going to be quite annoying to deal with, as we see a Screech, and I guess he just wanted to be, like, really healthy so he could switch into Metagross, but he has neglected to account for Screech. So this is Stealth Rock, Screech, Earthquake, Stone Edge? Is that really a set? Like, you can't even hurt... I guess Screech, like, means you don't need Reversal, because Earthquake will 2-hit KO Chansey after the -2 defense. But yep, that's his set. Is a wild one. And Ben's just getting all these hazards up. I guess his plan is to just, like, kill the No, they both have spikes with defog. Like, Ben's team makes more sense because it's just, like, very dependent on control. Like, the whole idea of the team is controlling hazards to win the game and slowly wearing down your opponent. But this team is just, like, a team that desperately needs rocks off the field, but it uses a hazard setter that can't really sustain rocks, or can't really sustain itself to set up rocks after the hazards have been cleared, and it uses a Spikes Greninja, which is more for, like, doesn't need to be hyper offense, but something fairly offensive. So yeah, I'm just struggling with that build a little bit, although Banded Dragonite doesn't, like, care that much about rocks. Like, it doesn't care as much as Dragon Dance cares, because it can come in and it sort of works the way he's playing it. Like, it outrages some stuff in the early to mid game, and then it can E-speed sweep towards the end of the game. I'm just totally ignoring what's going on in this game, I'm sorry. So, Tangrowth used Hidden Power on the other Tangrowth, and Screeching again. Ben gets up his last clear, so something's taking a big hit from this, these hazards. Did he miss Edge again before? No, Ben switched to Tangrowth on the Stone Edge. So we see the fabled Screech miss, and Jay's going to go to his own Tangrowth. These hazards are certainly getting the better of him at the moment. Maybe his Zapdos hasn't used Defog. I guess he doesn't have to be Defog Zapdos. Like, a lot of people, myself included, have wanted to use... I guess he does need his AV for Greninja, maybe? So he doesn't want his... That's why he switched to Skarmory, to avoid knockoff hitting his own Tangrowth. So Roosted now. That is HP Ice. So yeah, it looks like Skarmory walls this Tangrowth pretty handily, and he goes for Defog. Okay. So now Zap can come in and heal. He goes hard Sableye, expand the Greninja. I guess he was just sacking that there. Like, there's nothing that this can take a hit from. I guess he gets to fake something out. And maybe find out what this Greninja is holding. So it's not Life Orb either. Is it Specs Spikes? It is! It's Specs with Spikes! Yeah, this is looking like Ben Gay's game. He seriously spiked before with his Specs Ashgren. On the +1 Volcarona. So I don't exactly know why. I guess Ben was just hoping to bait a Shuriken, or like. But I get why he'd Quiver Dance, because theoretically JayStaice makes some sort of submissive play, like going to his Zapdos as a sack so that he can keep his only check, which is Haxing with Greninja, alive. I kind of lost my train of thought there. I've been awake for way too long. So Ben's definitely not going to risk a Discharge Para and the ruining of his Christmas here. And this Zap has shown Defog, so they're both just running Defog Spikes. So yep, somewhat of a little mini prediction here. Maybe we could see a kill. No. I don't think Stealth Rock makes sense, really. Because you can't keep... Yeah, so Toxic makes more sense, but we will see the Dog Trio go down, so... Ben can only get rocks up now by bouncing them with Sableye. And... I guess he just goes to Tangrowth here, but yeah, this is Toxic now, so... eventually, I think Ben will be able to overwhelm JayStaice with just Spikes, and Volcarona is a very potent win condition too. So likely plays here would be, I guess, Metagross, or Jay could go to his own Tangrowth. You'd be getting HP back overall, I think, but after you like switch in and get regen and stuff, and you threaten this with the knockoff, which Ben has shown that he doesn't want to take. But JayStaice is realizing the magnitude of the task ahead of him and just decides to go for a sneaky little bit of hacks with Discharge, then takes hardly any damage from this Earthquake, And Skarmory already got knocked off, so you'd have to think Ben would bring in his Skarmory. It also provides a chance to get Spikies up. So Jay would have to be thinking, this doesn't have knockoff, maybe? I think there was a chance earlier to go for knockoff and Ben just didn't do it, and I don't think he used it for all of the previous games, so maybe if Jay's paying attention, he will have noticed this. I think Rock Slide would be pretty smart for Zard Y. He does have a Toxapex, so maybe not. Rock Slide, I mean Sludge, Skarm maybe deals with... Skarm doesn't really deal with Bulu, but Tang isn't really, like AV Tang isn't really a good Bulu counter either. So I don't know, I think his last move would be Rock Slide because he hasn't shown knockoff yet. So, Zapdos on the spikes, wastes extra spikes PP with the pressure ability, and Ben just doesn't have the best ways to pressure Zapdos at the moment. So yeah, the Toxic was a smart investment for sure. I imagine Tangrowth is coming in. This game's getting a little cyclical like the previous one, which is unfortunate. But that's just what this team does. It's just sort of that I don't really understand Sableye there. You get to you get to fake out. Like yeah, by going to Tangrowth you would leave this like how much higher? I just love watching Ben play. Like you always learn something about like how you could play better. It's like you can be safe and just go to Tangrowth there because you're using semi-stall, so you should play safe, but you can apply like so much more pressure by making the play he did. Because Jay's gonna feel pressured to like get that kill on Sableye, so you really get 2 extra turns of toxic damage, and the toxic damage is already pretty high by this point. Like it started here, so 6, 12, 4, 18, 24. So it took 24% and 18% on those 2 turns, plus the fake out damage. So I don't know, it took like an extra 35%, and it didn't defog the spikes because it was pressured to kill the Sableye. So by not... Oh, and then he goes back to Sableye? Okay, so... That made sense too, because now Volk comes in and like... Actually, he still needs to risk the discharge power, because if he just takes the kill, he dies to Dugtrio. But that's Ben Genius coming straight through. And, Jay just doesn't have, like, the appropriate ways to break through. Well, he has Hacks. Hacks is a potent one. I'm thinking he should go to Metagross here, or Dragonite. Tang is, like, the more conservative and just smarter play, but what he wants to do is flinch his way to victory with Greninja. So, step 1, paralyze the Tangrowth, has already been achieved. That is a nice double there, actually. So now he gets like a free Dark Pulse on the Tangrowth. Plop. And that is looking like a 3-hit KO. We've seen 33 and 35, and he is going for it. And he gets rewarded. I hate to see that, but he played it well. Like, he put himself in a great position to go for that. So in comes the Pex with the eject button double regen. And JayStaice, with no hesitation, does get... And he's been getting max damage and all those Dark Pulses, so not really surprising. JayStaice, no! Oh, the chat. Yeah, so that's great to see some justice. Yep, going to Skarmory there would have been a little bit insane. So... Oh, this Metagross is a fat threat. Like, Skarmory is weak, so that's, yeah, very... threatening. So Ben is just filling out the set. We've got Bullet Punch, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and only Ben Gay would use a set without Meteor Mash. So yeah, now we know the full set. That is a juicy attack boost. It's walled by Volcarona, so yeah, that's fine. Oh, he's Haze. So what is he? Toxic Haze, Recover, Infestation. No, he must have Scald. So I guess I was just wrong about that Infestation hunch. Must be from one of his other teams. I know the one with the stall team with like Sizz and Ash Greninja has Haze, Toxic. Oh, he goes hard Volcarona, and there's the burn body, and that should be the game if my mental calculations for the Dragonite's Outrage were correct, unless it's like Rock Slide, Tangrowth. Oh, yeah, it's going to go for one last try with Freeze Punch, and now Ben has the chance to go for a... Nope, he's not Fire Dance, I've got that too. But this Volcarona probably just wins. We'll see how much the Dragonite's dealing. So yeah, I'm hoping to see 42 on this Outrage. I like it when my brain shows me that it can still work. So 42, 49, I guess that's just rolls. Like we can take that. I don't... Roost is fine. I just don't think you gain enough HP back to make it like worth going for over just killing it, considering the risk of a crit. Yeah, it's just not really worth... I guess he wants to be out of range of, like, Dugtrio's Sucker Punch, but, like, risking the crits is not something I have ever done in my life. But yeah, it looks like Ben Gay's going to go through 2-0, and my dream could be real because ABR is through to the semi-finals, so there's actually a good chance that they meet up. So the semi-final so far is ABR, I Love League, Ben Gay, presumably. Yeah, okay, this game is over. Yeah, and then it'll be either Malekith from Spain or Lord Outrage, I think he's from France, in the 4th semi-final spot. I don't know, oh, Ben probably wants to... Nope, I was hoping he would drop something a little more prophetic than just GG, but yep, GG, hope you guys enjoyed this, thanks for watching, congrats Ben, and I should be able to record the semi-finals because I have some time off work next week, and maybe they will play at a time that suits me, but it's fine, they're the ones battling, they can choose times that suit them. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for the semis, hopefully. Goodbye.